What is up? This is your boy, Anecdotal, and today, finally, I'm going to give you an updated version of not only the early game meta, but the mid, the end, the slabs, and everything else that comes with it until you can reach this team that you see that I am using right here. So this is going to be your go-to video, the most requested video that you've given for Endless Frontier in just such a long time. So here you go, guys. First, I want to cover some of the pets only necessary for that team composition. So those pets are obviously going to be Tinky for the fairies, so you get that initial skip, that early skip that meant so much to people very early on. Then followed by Icy, which gives you the 5 times speed. That again, early on, guys, you're gonna go at 1 or 2 times speed, 3 times if you want to pay 100 gems. But yeah, guys, 5 times speed, and now 7.2 times speed right now is where you want to be at. Of course, you're gonna want blunt. You're gonna want other things. I will leave a chart that explains all of this that I did not create. So I'm gonna go ahead and read who created it. It's Trav07SR20, and the credit there goes to, I might pronounce a lot of these wrong, but the two people I know here are Cheesy Bob and Harold, which I'm sure pretty much everyone knows, but it's at least in the EF community. But there's Yob No Kep, Waymouth, Marquis, and Great Gamma, and also Aki. Oh, and DZ. But yeah, the two I know here are Cheesy Bob and Harold. Those people, are people that I've just run into in the EF community. But obviously, all these people credited, and Trav07, the person that created this chart, great job. This is by no means new. This has been here for a while. But before the 16th honor units are introduced, these are some of the pets that you're going to want to know. I'm going to just name them and not quickly go back and forth and show you the pictures. So I just wanted to show you guys what Raven, Chester, the Cat Knight, Hippo or Hippong, and everyone else looks like. That way we don't need to always keep going back and forth. I'll also show you the slabs individually later after we get past just initially the teams that only require pets. So before that, there's so much here. Obviously, you're gonna want Dark Knight, Tribe Fortification, all these things you're gonna want. You're gonna want Dark Archers for the skipping and stuff as well. But team compositions, all right? Team compositions. Let's keep all of this. Again, if you want an easy, fun graphic, a representation that you can just look at within a chart, I'll have that right there below. I think I got it. I think it's originally from Reddit. I think you just find it. Or maybe it was on the Discord. I don't know. It's floating about pretty much everywhere. Some people just have issues finding it. But here you go. I'm going to go ahead and do it here instead of using gems and destroying everything I have. So that's what you want your revival team to look like. Just a whole lot of Black Panthers there. That's really all you need later on. But let's go ahead. Actually, you can just do that initially and just get Undead Guardian. But let's go ahead and talk about how in the very, very beginning, because you will not have the Dark Archer pet, you'll probably want to have a whole lot of Dark Archers for Spirit Rest, and then switch that with the Panther at the end. But let's go ahead, start on the very first team you're going to want to have. Now, I always just tell people to just have Hippo as your physical core in the beginning, just because you're gonna need to do that eventually. But if you really want efficiency, if you really want to go just ham, it's actually Elementalist for your physical core, because he just gives you extra stats. That's it. That's really the only reason why. And of course, High Fairy, with the introduction of the 15th honor units, is going to be your magical core. Hippos for the skip. Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to want your 3 human priests for the 5 times speed, and the additional speed of dark priests actually outweigh the benefits that a fairy would give you on a team. So let's go ahead and just click undead, and that way you can go ahead and see it, and bam, you got the undead priest, I think priestess. Yeah, undead priest here. So this is what your first team should look like. And on your way of farming Tinky, which is the fairy pet, you can go ahead and replace one of those hippogriffs to grant yourself way more skip by just introducing this one more fairy on your team after 5-star, not 1-star, not 2-star, but by 5-starring Tinky and unlocking everything. So this will be your second team within the progression. Then, of course, once you have Icy, which is the priest pet, you can let go of all the priests that you have. And you're going to see a huge boost in both speed and power. So you just go ahead, you're going to get rid of the priests once you get Icy, and you just fill those up with more hippogriffs. So, boom, you're going to have that team. And then you're going to start seeing that your hippogriff's going to do way more power with blunts. And that's pretty much all you're going to work with. Now let's go ahead and transition to the orc meta. Now, you could be going on slabs, and you've been working so hard on them that you can just skip the orc meta. It is possible, depending on your activity on the game, but this is what the initial orc meta will look like after you go ahead. You have Tinky and Icy and Wakong, because once you have Wakong, your flyer is going to do a lot of damage, and your blunt will do all the work for you. Now, because you still don't have the hippogriff pet, you're going to want him there for the extra skips and Siren for the extra power. So, bam, you're good. This is going to be what the orc meta will look like. And of course, it's going to be very helpful to also have Seahorse there. But once that happens, and you do have Seahorse, what you can do is rely a lot less on Siren, and then put your Nagas on the team, because they will be much more helpful to overall buff your team. So now, congratulations for having the total orc meta here by having both Wakong and Seahorse onto your team, and your team will look a little bit more like this. And for the added speed, remember guys, everyone forgets that Wignite did give you an extra 1.2 times speed when you get the pet. But you don't need it at this point. Just have them here, and bam, you're good. You have extra speed. You'll do things that much faster, and this is what you need. Now, I never personally had to use any of these teams, because by the time Honor Unit 15 came out, I was already using tablet teams. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's really nice to have to look back and see everything. Of course, you want to make sure that while doing this, you farm Frost Demon and Bamba, so that you can go ahead and start doing some skill pushes, because skill pushing is the only way to level once you get to the end game, and it's a nice way to fast forward. But let's start looking at the required initial slab teams. So Undead High Tech, Shadow of Death, like you'll see that they're leveled up to right around 7. Undead Royal Family and Voice of Darkness. You want to make sure that you have those 4 initial slabs that you're going to see just pops up on the screen right there. And then, quite simply, in your team, once you have Raven and Chester, boom, you just put the members in that slab to activate them. You just put them on your team, and boom, you have the undead team. Now, you also want to go ahead and make sure that you then transfer all of the elf and then all of the orc artifacts that power you up, and you just transfer them to the undead ones. If you don't do that, you're wondering, hey, how come when I switch I don't see a difference? It's like, did you transfer all the stat gain that you get from artifacts? No? Then, well, maybe you want to go ahead and do that. So, quite simple, you could always look back and forth, or just look at the charts, or pause the video, and you're going to see that these are the exact units that you need for your slab team. Seriously, you just look at the slab, you put them in. That's it. And then you get them. Now, there is a level requirement. You're going to need the Undead High Tech at 3, the Undead Royal Family at 3, and Voice of Darkness at 3, and of course, Shadow of Death at 4. Now, why am I not telling you to get the other slab team? Well, because that means you're going to have to be farming the material and the airship levels of 4 and 5 when you're doing so, and that's obviously going to take you some time. You're going to need to build up your airships in order to do that. So of course you're going to have to start farming these little guys first. There's no way to just start going hard on the higher level slabs. So this is what that team will look like, and then that is really all you have to worry about once you got the slabs. A lot of people like to focus on other slabs when you first start. Don't, because they're not going to help. You're not going to be using those teams, so it's a bit of a misnomer, I guess you would say. Like, there's no reason to do that. So just start farming the undead slabs. You'll get everything eventually when you farm different things that give you different colored slabs or different tribes of slabs. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the team that I'm using currently. And that is using the secondary slab team. And by secondary, I don't mean like it's supplementing the first. I'm just saying this is the one you're going to use after using that first one. That's what that means. So we're going to use the Honor of the Undead one, the Guardians of Dark Abyss, and Temptations of the Lich one. And then there you go. You want to go ahead and get those at least powered up, because at this point in time, you're going to already have your other guys powered up. And you're just going to look at the differences. Because for me, I already had them at 7 stars. You know what I'm saying? There's no way I want to make that switch already. So you're going to end up having this team, of course. And you want to have them at least level 4 for Honor of the Undead. And then Guardians of Dark Abyss and Temptations of the Lich at level 3. And boom, you can go ahead and you can have this team. Small note. Your Succubus and your Ninja of Darkness will get you stuck, so you don't want to really put too many medals on those guys right there. And that's it. That's how you will get to my team very fast forward, guys. You're gonna have to do a lot of grinding, a lot of getting those pets, but let's do some quick easy math here just to make you feel a little bit better about how long it's really going to take to farm all of those pet fragments. But they're basically giving them away now, so progression must be way easier nowadays. So this has been your boy, Anecdotal, and if you like this video, make sure to like it, share with anybody from the EF community, and of course, don't forget to make yourself known and comment down below. Peace.